Hi, I'm Shayne, and this is Mobility for Movers. This program is ideal for any person who's inspired to move within the disciplines of dance, yoga, martial arts, calisthenics, and general fitness. This program is not designed for a person who is in an early stage recovery from a serious injury. So please consult with your physician before you move forward in this program to make sure that the kind of movement we're doing is going to help and not actually hinder your recovery process. Let's talk mobility. Mobility is, in general terms, how the joint moves. There are numerous factors that affect how the joint moves. Let's talk about them. Number one, there is the strength of the surrounding tissue. If the strength of the surrounding tissue of a joint is not strong enough to support the joint as it's moving, you could get injured. So making sure that you are strong enough with the soft tissue, being the tendons, ligaments, and muscles, to support mobility. Without that, you are running the risk at any moment when you're moving through a deep range, or sometimes even a shallow range, of injuring your joint. Number two, injury. If the soft tissue around the joint has been injured in some way, if there's inflammation, if there's a tear, this is going to limit the range of motion and mobility of that joint. So making sure that the soft tissue that supports the joint is very healthy, not just strong, but also healthy and injury-free, this is going to allow us to have a greater range of mobility and be more successful at the type of transitions that we're learning today. Number three is joint health along the chain of movement. And what I mean by that is, let's just say that I would like to have full range of my shoulder and my elbow joint is injured. So if I go to move the shoulder through its full range and I've got pain in the elbow joint, this may actually act upon that and keep me from being able to express that full range due to the pain of the elbow because it's within the chain of movement. Here are the benefits of having greater joint mobility: strength, dexterity, and agility. If my joints are healthy, if they are injury-free, if they are able to move at full range, I am then allowed to express all the possibilities of complex transition. If I can move from here to there and I feel no pain, my mind can be present to understanding and learning the patterns of movement that I'm trying to integrate into the body. Dexterity, in a sense, is the intelligence of movement. Think of a dexterous hand moving across the keys of a piano. Same thing with the body moving across the ground. The intelligence of subtle transitions, which of course are going to support overall movement. And of course, strength, because when I can move across the ground at my greatest range with my greatest mobility, I'm able to have more options of movement patterns. Let's talk flexibility. Flexibility is often these days confused with mobility. And for one simple reason, there's a distinction here that is not picked up by the typical mover in understanding that flexibility affects mobility, but not the other way around. In the sense that the muscle that runs across the joint, connecting the two bones, if that muscle is not flexible, if it does not have a length in which it can express itself, then it limits the mobility of the joint itself. So if you really think about it in simple terms, flexibility is the length of a muscle. Mobility is the ability for that joint to move and express itself in full range. props that we're going to need for this video series are going to be a physio ball, which we can replace with a tennis ball, or a foam roller. And there we have one. What we're going to do with this foam roller, or physio ball, we're going to use it to lengthen out the soft tissue that lays over top of the joint and surrounds the joint that could be inhibiting the joint's mobility. So the beauty of using these objects is that they can help actually, and sometimes this word is used in the world of physio, is smashing, where you're literally just creating some pressure down on top of the soft tissue, which is allowing the myofascia, moving down under the myofascia to the muscle and down to the bone, allowing that tissue to relax and stretch out, which then gives you greater range or greater mobility.